tell you what's on my February TBR. I'm still trying to figure out what, for me, is a reasonable number of books to put on my TBR every month. I do have 9 books on this, and some of them are pretty long, so this might still be a little too ambitious, but I'm going to try to get through all of them, gauge how much I can actually reasonably read in a month at the end of this month, and then go from there. But for now, it feels reasonable. I think I can do this, but I think that every month, so who knows. First up is Holy Sister by Mark Lawrence. This is the 3rd book in the Book of the Ancestor trilogy. This follows Nona, who was sold as a young child and eventually finds herself being taken in by a convent and trained as a nun. The nuns here learn magic and fighting skills, and it's a very dangerous place to be. I've been really enjoying this series so far. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the 3rd book ends. Also by Mark Lawrence, I have King of Thorns and Emperor of Thorns. The 1st book, Prince of Thorns, follows our main character, who is a prince who no longer lives in the castle. He leads a group of pretty dangerous criminals. They're not very good people. It's a pretty dark world, and he decides he's gonna go back and reclaim his right to the throne. It's, of course, not that simple, and we follow him in his journey to reclaim his kingdom. I enjoyed the 1st book. Hopefully I'm going to enjoy the 2nd and 3rd book just as much, but I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in this world next. Then I have Bloody Rose by Nicholas Ames. This is the sequel to Kings of the Wild, which I'm almost finished with. I've been reading this book for way too long. I'm really enjoying it. I'm just really taking my time with it for some reason. I am enjoying it. Hopefully I get through Bloody Rose a little faster, but I really like the writing. I've been having a lot of fun with it. Looking forward to finishing up this series as well. Then the other series that I'm hoping to finish this month is Before Your Memory Fades. This is the last book in Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. I'm really enjoying this series. I'm kind of expecting the same thing from this 3rd book, following a few different characters who go to this cafe to visit someone at some point in time who they've lost in one way or another, and get to speak to them in whatever amount of time it takes for a cup of coffee to begin getting cold. Then I have The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. This is the 2nd book in the Kingkiller Chronicle. I've started this book and just haven't finished it, and I'd like to be caught up on the series. I know we have no idea when the 3rd and final book's coming out. I really don't care when it comes out. I just want to finish the ones that are out. I'm a little nervous because I've heard some very mixed things about this book, so I don't really know where it's going at this point, but hopefully I like whatever is about to happen. Another currently unfinished series, I'm planning on reading A Storm of Swords by George R.R. Martin. This is the 3rd book in A Song of Ice and Fire. I'm at this point still having a lot of fun in this world. I like the majority of characters. There's a lot of things going on that are all connected, which is something I really like in fantasy. So hopefully I'll enjoy the 3rd book, and then I can continue on through books 4 and 5. So hopefully I'll enjoy the 3rd book at least as much as I enjoyed the first 2. And I'm looking forward to seeing where this series is going, how all these things going on with all the characters are going to come together at some point. Then I have The Vagrant by Peter Newman. This I started a while ago. I've only read the beginning. I don't know too much about it. It's about the vagrant. He has a baby and a sword, and he's trying to go somewhere. I read the opening of it, and I was enjoying it, but I own it, so I ended up putting it down to read some other things and never finished it. So hopefully this month I can finally finish it and actually know what it's about. I really don't like knowing too much about a book when I go into it. I just like knowing the general setup and maybe the tone of it, so I have some idea of what type of story to expect, but I don't really like knowing too much of the plot, because then I go into the book with expectations, whether they're good or bad, and I'd rather just go in and see what the story has to offer. which works really well for me reading, but when I'm explaining a book that I want to read, it's kind of difficult to explain why I want to read it because I don't know what it's about. I just know that I feel like I'm going to enjoy whatever it is. And the last book on my TBR is Wild Massive by Scott O'More. This comes out next week, and it's about a character named Carissa who basically lives in an elevator in the building, and her comfortable life secluded in this elevator is disrupted when a shapeshifter lands on top of her elevator, and she ends up having to leave it into one of the building's theme parks. I've already started this, but I'm not very far into it, so I'm not exactly sure where it's going to go, how much action it's going to have, but very interesting setup for the book anyway. So I'm looking forward to finishing that and seeing where the story goes. So that's everything on my TBR for February. Hopefully I can get to all of these. A lot of series that I'm trying to finish up or at least make some progress on, and then the one new release. Let me know what's on your TBR for this month, what you're the most excited to finally get to. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.